Hi, I'm Pattu from freefincal. A few days ago, there was an interesting question in the freefincal goal-based portfolio management Facebook group, and as a offshoot of that was the question that you see here: Can I buy mutual fund units in my minor children's name? Wait until they become major, then sell it and save tax. Now, I have several people to thank for making this article possible. First, the people who asked the question and participated in the discussion: Sendilnath, Science Sirkar, Sirish Dhananjaya, Ragesh and Anant, and Ashal Jauri for answering the question correctly in the group, and Madan, who did the initial research for the income clubbing. He will be publishing that later on, and Amit Porwal, a Delhi-based CA, for his expert opinion. So what I will be talking about in this video is basically a digest of all their research and opinions discussed in this regard. So the rules are quite simple. Most of you would know about income clubbing. If you invest in the name of your child, for example, if you open a fixed deposit and that's a asset that's classified as income according to the income tax rules, which means that you'll have to pay tax on the interest as per slab, and the interest that you'll get regularly, you'll have to declare it in your own name and pay tax in your own name. So there's no benefit of income clubbing. And so even if you buy a mutual fund in the name of minor children and you redeem it before they become major, then you will have to pay the tax. So again, there is not much benefit there. The only question of interest in this situation is, what if we wait for them to become a major and then redeem? So then the rule is that if they become major and then the redemption is made, then they will have to pay the tax on the capital gains, but the money is also irrevocably theirs. You have no right to question that. They can do whatever they want with that money. That can lead to problems. In fact, someone in the group pointed out that they know a case uh, where the person turned major and bought a bike from the money used for college education and so on. So that kind of problems will always be there. But the rule says that the capital gain itself will be transferred in the name of the child. Now, this is where Amit Porwal's expert opinions made a big difference. Now, when I say it like this, it sounds very enticing. Okay, let's go and put all our money in the name of our children, but not so fast. First of all, the capital gain is taxed at a rate that is different from the income tax slab. So that's what he calls as a special rate in the article. And in general, if a person does not have any income, that is salary, interest income, and so on, dividend income, rental income, that kind of income, and if that person has a capital gain, short-term capital gain or long-term capital gain, then up to the basic income tax exemption limit of 2.5 lakhs, currently 2.5 lakhs, up to that amount is tax free. So if you have a capital gain of, let's say, 2 lakhs, and that's your only income for that financial year, then that is tax free. You don't need to pay that special rate of tax on that capital gain. So the basic and the only advantage of investing in the name of the child, waiting for them to turn major and then redeeming the money, is that up to the basic exemption limit prevailing at that time, that money will be tax free. However, I mean, that's just going to be a very small amount, and also the rest of it is, anyway, they can't pay tax, right? It's not like they are going to have money. For example, just because they turn 18, they'll be in college, they won't have the money to pay the tax. So you'll have to anyway eventually pay the tax on the rest of the amount. Also, in mutual funds, you will have to do some kind of portfolio management. You will have to do rebalancing from time to time. I have talked about how I have rebalanced thrice already in the last 10 years in my son's portfolio. Thrice or 4 times, no, I don't remember. Then you will have to worry about reducing equity allocation. All these actions will mean redemptions, and those redemptions you will have to pay tax, and that you can't worry about. No, I will wait for my child to become major, then only I will redeem and so on. That's stupidity, because you have to protect those profits. So those kind of actions, anyway you will have to pay tax on. And many children will go to college before they turn 18. That is, even or at least they will get college admission by the before they turn 18. So you will have to pay the initial amount for it. So the big chunk of it will you know the capital gain associated with a big chunk of the corpus, anyway you still have to pay tax on. So the most of the so-called benefit from this rule basically has evaporated in this. Of course, as Sirish Dhananjaya pointed out, maybe if you have some money for their marriage, and if you have some money for their PG and so on, yes, there will be some benefit from there. If you do a deferred redemption, or Amit also talks about it, if you defer your redemption every year, a little bit every year and so on, there will be some benefit to the extent of the basic income tax exemption limit every year. But then that is not a big deal in my opinion, because most of us would need, because of inflation, most of us would need something of the order of 50, 60, 70, 80 lakhs of that order. I myself have a personal target of 1 crore just for my child. I'm not saying I'm going to achieve it or not, but that's my target. I made the target many years ago. So considering all this, the actual tax saved would be very, very small compared to the actual tax paid because of the portfolio management process, and of course because of the age and when you of the child, and when you have to need the money for UG and so on. So don't worry too much about it. It's not something to break your head over.